And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Pour here on the Tuesday after Labor Day weekend, the Barnes and Tony Endeavor. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great today. Super pumped to be here with everyone back in the saddle. Labor Day off, which was nice. But, of course, a lot of sports to get to. Football imminent, as well as a nice weekend recap. So
before we know it, we'll be saying week 18.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, so a lot to get to. But I did want to start with a special birthday shout out to my sister Jennifer.
Whoa.
So it is her birthday today. So I hope she enjoys and had a great time with her and the rest of my family in Rhode Island over the weekend. She's her and Chokri and my niece Layla staying today. And actually, I think they're going to Newport for the day and then going to fly back to North Carolina tomorrow. So hope they enjoy that.
That's awesome.
And had a great weekend, though, the beach. And then, as well as, my niece Layla, my nephews Patrick and Dominic had a great time at the beach. Yesterday was a great beach day.
Yeah, dude, beautiful day out there. And I guess I would imagine you celebrated Jennifer's birthday this weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Costco cheesecake, some little cream puffs as well.
Yo, the cream puffs from Costco?
Yes.
Fire.
And then also a I don't know, maybe not a sleeper, but just really like some of the best cookies I've ever had. The roll Pillsbury chocolate chip.
Wow.
Me and Sam make it all the time because it's dairy free.
Interesting.
Can't even tell that it's dairy free, but yeah, we made a couple batches of those. Those were outstanding as well. And then a little cooked goose takeout, Tony, just for good measure.
Cooked goose?
You remember, right? It should be on the hidden gems and everything. Yeah. But they have this really good breakfast sandwich. Maybe if you didn't have the avocado on it, you'd like it. But I think it's like they call the I think it's just the goose sandwich or whatever, but it's spicy aioli. Now is that illegal for you on a breakfast sandwich? Or
I mean, definitely different for me on a breakfast sandwich. However, Tasty Yolk does the same thing with theirs, and their spicy aioli very good. So I get it on the side. Though,
swap out the brioche for the why am I blanking on this? Oh my! I can't believe I'm forgetting this.
Bagel?
No. It's like ciabatta
roll.
Like
okay,
ciabatta
nice.
Better.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
And then the avocado, like I said, I know that's illegal, but hash brown, very good. And then I swapped out the chicken sausage, regular sausage, and I think they put a tomato on it with eggs. Obviously, unbelievable. So really, really enjoyed that as well. So overall, great weekend. A lot around the corner. But I know you have a couple bites from the wedding this weekend. And did we get a count on the drinks? Or
ooh, that's a gregreat question. No, definitely didn't have a count
over
on
20
the drinks.
Though.
Yeah, no, definitely over 20, I would say. But so we're down in South Jersey. What was the name of the town? Greensboro, maybe?
Greensboro. Okay.
But literally like not too like way South Jersey. Like you're talking, like almost Jersey Shore-ish, but not quite the shore, closer to Philly and almost on the west side.
But off of the Jersey Turnpike or no?
Yes, yeah, we're off the Turnpike, yeah. So, great wedding, buddy from college, rugby, Tori, they met at college. I knew them both from college. They're amazing. Great wedding. So happy for them. Always have a great time at a wedding. It was great. Harrison was my date, just him and I. Hotel room, drove down together. That was fun. About like a little over 3 hours for the drive.
Traffic.
Yeah, Labor Day weekend, the shore, whatnot. So whatever. But I mean, I knew I kind of anticipated that, so I was ready for the long drive. But, and again, obviously I'm not taking away from the wedding. Had a tremendous time, dude. Absolutely loved it. They did a great job in planning it. The venue was awesome. The drinks were great. Because sometimes, like, some wedding halls, like, cheat out on, like, either making the drinks or you can tell. I've been at places where, like, you order Grey Goose vodka and you can tell it's not Grey Goose vodka. But they're pouring it from the Grey Goose bottle, dude. Yeah, like crazy stuff.
Do you think they water it or they put a different
I think they
vodka
fucking put like Dubra in the bottle. Wow. Yeah, dude. Some places are shiesty like that.
That's crazy.
But they were all top notch. hotel, bit of a kerfuffle, dude, when we get there. So check-in's at 4:00,
Yeah.
okay? But the ceremony starts at 4:00. All right. So
Yeah.
maybe there was just like a miscommunication, or maybe everyone just assumed like, oh, we can get there earlier and check
Right.
in, whatever. So that was everyone's plan. Seemingly anyway, that was our plan, at least Harrison and I's. So we get there, I don't know, maybe like 1:30 we get there by. And so we walk in, like, hey, like, we're checking in, whatever. And this guy at the front desk frazzled, like from the get-go. And you can tell the place was packed. I mentioned right next to Rowan University, like basically on their campus.
Uh-huh.
They're moving in this weekend. People everywhere. There's a huge youth hockey tournament as well. Guy at the front desk, no rooms available until 4:00. Like, no one's going to get an early check-in. Like, you're shot, honestly, is what he's telling me. So, and I'm like, hey, man, like, can you do anything? Like, I had planned to, obviously, not only to get ready in my suit, but like to shower,
Right.
do my hair, whatever. Nope, can't do it. I'll put your name down. We can call you if that, but like all the rooms gonna be ready at 4:00. So now, like, kind of panicking. We're like, Harrison and I are like the only two people that are seemingly there from the wedding anyway. But obviously people will start to trickle in. So him and I are like, well, we go to the car, we get some beers first, and we try to figure this thing out.
Shaka?
No. Coors, banquet beers, glass bottle, sipping on them.
Like in the lobby, you're sipping on them, or
in parking lot. Then we went
Okay.
into the lot. But again, there was definitely a sense from the both of us were like, I don't give a shit right now because we got to figure
Right.
this out. This is like a massive problem. Not to mention, like, we have like our other friends are coming with their dates. We call them, give them the heads up. The girl's upset, obviously, because it's way worse
Oh.
for the makeup, the hair. I wanted to steam my dress, And so Harris and I figure out, like, dude, we have to fucking get ready in the bathroom in the lobby, right? And again, I went into the shower, so I go to the front desk, ask the guy, shampoo and a towel. I basically shower quickly in the sink of the main lobby bathroom. We get ready there, fucking sweating because it's hot. Like, you don't have to control the AC, so it's warm. People, again, at this point, by the time we get ready in our suits, we come out, lobby's full of people. Again, people hanging their dresses on chandeliers, steaming it in the lobby. People are like, what the hell's going on here? Whatever. But it all worked out, dude. It was pretty fucking crazy at first.
Wow.
But it worked out. They checked our bags. I even asked the guy, because we had a rack of beer for afterwards. Like, yo, can you put this in the fridge somewhere? I want to get it warm, whatever. So he did that for us as well. They were accommodating in that sense. But clearly the hotel fucked up. They said they had 4 weddings.
Oh, so other people were checking in early.
It was, yeah, I guess that's what happened. Because again, you think about like checkout's 11. It's like, at this point, it's like 3:00 and there's still no rooms available. And you're like,
no,
this is kind of weird.
Yeah.
They clearly overbooked themselves, whatever. But it all worked out, dude. Got ready, looked great. Harrison got ready. Again, everyone looked phenomenal. Got on the bus, which was nice. The shuttle coach bus venue was like 20 minutes away, no problem. Obviously the bus driver, huge Phillies fan.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, dude, I'm rooting for the Phillies this weekend. Mets fans, the Braves, whatever. So we were kind of like chatting about that. And I don't know if you remember too, that was Sunday night, right? They had a walk-off home run in extras.
Oh, Sunday Night Baseball.
Sunday Night Baseball,
right,
yeah.
right.
So then, like, we caught on the way back, literally watched like Castellanos' walk-off double on the bus. I was hyped, obviously. So the bus driver, it was bad funny. But overall, venue was sick, dude. It was a bona fide wedding venue. That's what it was. It was a campus of different like wedding halls, main lobbies. They even had like the groomsmen stayed in a cabin, like that they had built. There's like like for the wedding party, whatever. Total game room, full bar in there. Go in there. The cocktail hour, Brian, you would have been so ecstatic, dude. Taco station, burger station, the antipasto, lobster tails at the cocktail hour, dude. Wow. Oh my god.
Wow.
Harrison and I did gin and tonics. That was like our drink of the night.
Yeah.
And they had specialty drinks too. You know how the groom and the bride sometimes they have specialty drinks. Groom specialty drink, Joe. His drink was a cup of Joe, which is espresso martini. Had a few of those.
Nice.
Delicious, dude. Towards the end, mixed in some beers, couple 7 and 7s. And yeah, dude, danced. I know you don't care for dancing, but we danced so hard. It was great, dude. People were really coming up to us. We're like, hey, you guys look like you're having a good time. Hell yeah, dude. It was a great time.
Yeah.
Wedding was awesome. Celebration of love. Super stoked for them. I think today, actually, they went on the honeymoon, Hawaii for 10 days, dude. Yeah. So obviously very well-deserved for them. So big congratulations to them. And obviously couldn't be more happy to be there with my buddies, with Harrison too, sharing a room. It was a great time, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, but were you saying though the hotel, like how was it in terms of like how nice it was?
It was a standard hotel.
Like, but like older or no? Like needs a renovation or?
I'm trying to think. I mean, the rooms probably could have used a little updating.
Yeah.
You know, big furniture in there. Could have been a bit more streamlined.
Yeah.
Old TV, whatnot. But regardless, still cool. You know, the after party was at like their banquet room in the hotel. Chicken fingers, pizza for us afterwards.
Okay,
So that was
nice,
dope, dude.
nice.
Yeah, it was a great time.
Is there any videos of you on the dance floor?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah.
Circulation.
Harrison's got everything, dude. I was telling him he had to send me some stuff. And of course, you know, we found the camera, you know, the videographers as well a few times on the dance floor.
Yeah.
And they get up and close the light right on you. And you're just like,
Oh my god. You must have been sweating like an animal, no?
dude, oh my god. And probably, dude, it's so funny too, because like you're like, oh, I gotta go outside, get some fresh air. Humid as fuck out.
What are you
So
going
there was,
outside
yeah,
for?
but yeah, definitely. Oh my god, so sweaty. But it was great. It was a great time. Definitely worth it. Everyone was definitely a lot of fun people there. She had like a ton of the bride Tori has 3 brothers, so like we were like hanging out with them too. They were in the wedding party. It was a great time, dude.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
glad you enjoyed it. And now, did you come back yesterday?
I came back yesterday.
Okay.
We got back, I don't know, maybe like 3-4 o'clock.
Okay.
Again, you know, the Labor Day weekend traffic.
Did you like the morning after brunch or anything, or like
no breakfast or anything? You know, saw everyone though, but everyone was kind of like again, like they were all like, gotta get back. You know, Joe is from Connecticut, so like all his family was coming up from Connecticut, even Boston too. So some people had like 6-hour drives ahead of them. So
wow,
yeah.
But yeah, that's awesome, man. But yes, so glad you had a good time.
Oh yeah,
dude. Here we are. Another week is upon us. I can't believe the NFL starts on Thursday. But of course, a lot of sports stuff to talk about here. But let's start with the comments early and often. I think Michael Butka is confusing the sports sport for the rabbit hole, I believe.
Oh,
and I think that's what happened, right?
I think that is what's happening. He's earning for that next Down the Rabbit Hole episode, I'm sure. But early and often, you said it. Josh B says, "What is up, fam? Hope everyone enjoyed the extended weekend. #TC, #Sports Project DTV."
By the way, Josh B, the jersey from the beach bash, I was wearing it at the beach this weekend. And then my sister was saying, "Wow, like what's the background behind this?" I really can't beat. I mean, it's just such a comfortable thing to wear, loose fitting, and pinstripes. I mean, you can't beat pinstripes. So
it's a great jersey. Dude.
Shout out Josh B. Of course, the merch king just makes it happen
on the beach, baby. The Valhalla bucket hat.
No, I have to wash that, but just behind on. But it just has gotten. But once it's through the wash, it'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine, dude.
Yeah.
Maybe air dry it. You know, put that through the dryer. I wouldn't.
No, air dry. Just like when you wash sneakers.
Yeah,
same thing.
Exactly, dude. Speaking of washing his sneakers, Matthew Ryan, Mets won 5 straight. Has got lucky. We'll get to that, I'm sure, dude. Josh B with a couple of face palm emojis, perhaps, probably towards Matthew Ryan. He does say happy birthday to your sister, though.
Thank you, brother.
And then Matthew Ryan, of course, is happy birthday to your older sister. Just wondering.
Older sister. I am the youngest child, but yes, my older sister Jennifer. It is her birthday today.
And then he also says, which I'm sure Brian could agree, the real team from New York won last night, dude. The Yankees. He says, dude.
Sonny, the Yankees.
And then he says, bro, date from Tony, dude. I don't know too. Matthew Ryan had a good time at Friday's Yankee game. Sending me some photos.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
No Yanni though.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so, dude. The gates, the mess ups, and they had no way to contact each other either.
Seats looked good. Upper deck area.
200 level. 200 level, definitely. Yeah. Send me a picture of Clay Holmes. You know, zoom in from there. Good.
He went to a win. So,
he did.
Only win of the weekend. So.
And then Josh P says we just lost a Series 500 team. You really make no sense to Matthew Ryan. Oh, Josh B with the negativity.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like we've always talked about, just words mean nothing from fans. At the end of the day, that doesn't change what happens.
How about that one?
That's getting a little carried away. I mean, like I said, players decide it. That's it.
Yeah, I think maybe Josh B, you know, the high of, you know, the Labor Day weekend, probably had a great time. Now Tuesday back at work, coming down from that high, dude. Michael Buckta, I'm not even, I can't.
I guess Gus Johnson called some games, college football games, I'm guessing, over the weekend. By the way,
what happened? No good?
I don't know, because I didn't get to see any of the games, but I did see Florida State 0-2 lost to 2 unranked teams. They were 10th ranked coming into the season.
That's pretty embarrassing.
So in shambles, losing to BC, getting blown out last night. So we'll keep a mindful eye on the college football season. Also, Brian Kelly, the fake Southern accent we talked about a couple of years ago. LSU doing the Aaron Boone table.
I saw that, dude.
after they lost to Southern Cal, who looks like they found their quarterback. Guy has been in the system but barely played. So it might be something to watch there in the Big Ten.
And I think LSU, what is it? Like I think their third straight year losing their opening game. I think something like that.
Probably. This is his third season, so maybe he's kind of talking about that. But they've won 10 games last 2 years. But of course, he wants to get to the promised land, but he's in the SEC. I mean, it's a gauntlet. We know it.
Yeah, that's for sure, dude. And then let's see what else we got going on here. Josh B says, awesome to hear. Matthew Ryan back. The Mets won't make the playoffs. Again, we'll talk about it. But here we go. Matthew Ryan, hyped for the Jets season, starts next week. Yo, get Zach Wilson's stench off, dude. I mean, are you hyped for the Jets season? Come on.
As we get closer, I mean, definitely. I definitely am. Like I said, I guess I'm channeling my inner Josh B. To be honest, I mean, he's always says the Jets are going to jet till the jet no more. So I guess I'm going to follow that. But I think Rick and Dave were talking about it this morning. I think Trent Williams looks like he's not going to go for week 1, so that would be a big loss for the Niners. But then again, Hassan Reddick doesn't look like he's going to be playing for the Jets, which they were
what
saying,
is his deal, dude?
Did
he request a trade?
But that was weeks ago. I mean, they're not going to trade him. It's going to come. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like the game's on Monday, if like Friday there's a resolution to this, just down to the wire, leverage, all of that stuff.
At the end of the day, do you think he's going to be happy playing for the Jets?
I think they'll work something out, where he'll be okay. So
that's good because definitely could need him.
Yeah, definitely. And then actually on Sunday, I had 3 fantasy drafts. So now I have 4 teams drafted. I have another draft on Wednesday, so kind of crazy. 5 teams. The bonanza, by the way, too, Tony. Talking about something like I could just see you being like, "Are you kidding me?" Tied my fantasy playoff match, but higher seed gets the tiebreaker, so not going to finish in the money. Have the third place game, but they give money to first place regular season instead.
I'm sorry, dude.
But in second place in our league, and in second place actually in the rotisserie league I do, and then the 18-team league started playoffs this week.
Okay,
I think it was like the 8th seed out of 12 teams in the playoffs. So we have opportunities elsewhere. Still was a very strong fantasy season. Looking forward to football. Was a little challenging. Had to actually do the laptop draft, and I did figure it out. It wasn't as bad as I thought when I was here when we were drafting. So I had to do that, and then once the ESPN was over, then I switched back over to my phone. But have all these different teams, all these different scenarios. Have Garrett Wilson in now 2 leagues. Got Breece Hall because I had the 3rd pick in my first draft on Sunday. So excited about that. Got Jordan Love in a league as well. So I mean, it's a fantasy bonanza, Tony.
So now, like, you're in obviously a lot of leagues here, so all these different drafts. Do you go into each draft with like the same strategy for the most part, or do you is it like, yo, in this draft I took these players, in the next draft, even though different league, I'm gonna take different players just cause sort of
no. Yeah, same guys look, maybe it's like, oh well, I didn't grab this guy, so I'm gonna take him type of deal. But it's still the same strategy where pretty much, I mean, unless there's an absolute stud in front of me, like Breece Hall at 3, focus on wide receiver the first pick or 2, but at the same time, make sure I'm not have nothing at running back either. And then the whole wait for the quarterback. I think the earliest I've taken a quarterback in the 4 drafts has been like the 7th round. Got Jordan Love, and I'm excited for that. They're going to open their season in Brazil on Friday, which is interesting against the Eagles.
Wow, that's going to be kind of tough.
Yeah, I mean, that just definitely interesting.
The body clocks.
Yeah. So
Brazil, what are you doing in Brazil?
You be careful, obviously. And then Michael Bucket just could not stay off the politics. I think I can confirm for Michael that I think the politics will save for the rabbit hole. Let's just put it that way. I don't think there's going to be any additional shows, and they certainly will not be for me and Tony. I can tell you that much.
My mother also in the house says, "Hey fellas, hello mom." And then Kev do also with a big "Let's go." We want the smoke. Let's effing go Mets. And he says, "Yo, Matty Ice, get off the Mets jockstrap, bro. You are becoming unbearable, dude."
And then Michael Bucket kind of taking a page out of Kev Dew's book with the codes and abbreviations and stuff. But he's saying downtime TV. So he's obviously fired up, right? I mean, let's go.
Yeah, of course, loves downtime. You can tell by his profile picture too. Fired up, dude.
Yeah, fired up. And you know what else that I just completely forgot about? Almost forgot to mention entirely, Tony. Scotty. I mean, definitely clinched golfer of the year. How about
Yeah.
62.5 million is his payday for this year? 25 after winning the tour championship on Sunday.
I know I saw like the breakdown of like how much he made per round of golf he's played, even over the course of the year. It's unbelievable how much success he's had this season. And I mean, they know neither of us picked him, but we both said it. Like, we wouldn't be surprised if he just has the lead to start off with and holds on to it. Like, and that's exactly what he did,
under.
dude. Unbelievable, dude.
I think that might be the record with the staggered.
Yeah.
I think so. Because
the last few years, when we checked it,
Hovland was
definitely
It
not.
definitely is the record.
Definitely is.
So started at 10. I mean, 20 under. I am curious too. I mean, I think that would have. Just want to see here. So, oh no. So actually, if there was no stagger though, Morikawa would have won. Isn't that something?
That is something, I guess. But you know what? There is a staggered. So
Scheffler would have been third. It is weird though when you do think about it like that.
Yeah.
But it just that's the way.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, but I don't think you could take it away. Yeah, I mean, he earned it in the regular.
Why
season.
would you change the format? Looking at that, like,
oh well, I mean, I've always said, like,
right,
you don't need a stagger start, but I don't think that's going to change.
I don't think so either.
And nevertheless, I mean, it was an impressive week: 65, 66, 66, 67. Morikawa. Not only did Michael Vodka comment about his abbreviations,
he
he had to text me, Michael. Take it easy, but we talked about it though. I feel like I've expressed what Michael needs to do, but it seems like kind of one of the one ear out the other scenarios.
Yeah, and I mean, again, it's September now. We're getting closer to November.
But we're not. It's not week 17
yet.
It's
not week 17 yet, but he's obviously. I could imagine what he's going to be like week 17.
Yeah,
but he's getting more hype by the day. So
yeah,
I mean, I think there's no controlling that, dude.
The Yankees, the football, Michael. Come on. So yeah, the Gala third, 24 under. You had Russell Keenley finishing fourth, 19 under par, as well as Adam Scott. So Adam Scott with a really strong finish to his year here. And Xander tying for fourth as well. And obviously what a year Xander had. And we've been over this, time and time again, Tony, but Xander with the two majors, but Scotty, if you include the Olympics, 8 wins this year, and obviously winning the Masters and the Players. You think voting will be close on this one, or do you think it's just going to be overwhelming with Scotty?
I think it's gonna be overwhelming for Scotty.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no way, like you said, especially like winning the last weekend. I mean, that pretty much clinches the deal for him. I mean, I really can't see how you can make a case for anyone else, to be honest.
And I wonder too, like how many guys have won 2 majors and not won Player of the Year.
Do you think it's a lot?
Probably not, because I feel like Tiger was probably the, I don't know. I'm guessing Brooks when he won the PGA and the U.S. Open, maybe won golfer of the year, maybe not. I mean, so maybe it's happened before, but it's just, I don't think the how well Xander did this year should be understated. But I think Scotty just really took it to another level, and I think Xander too definitely finished pretty strong, a lot stronger, than he had started. But nevertheless, was fascinating to see them battle it out, all year. Just looking at the rest of this top 10 here, you had Sungjae Im, 18 under, finished 7th. Wyndham Clark finished 8th. So after a terrible stretch to this season for Wyndham, kind of finished on a strong note. And then Rory, Shane Lowry, and Matsuyama all tied for 9th. And speaking of a bad stretch, Hovland has kind of righted the ship here. He finishes tied for 12th at 15 under. Kind of crazy though, Tony, that this is it for the PGA Tour season, and there's a little break in the action before we get started up in Northern California here, Napa, California to be exact. Nice. The Procore Championship, which was once the Silverado Championship, and I forgot there was another name too. They've changed the sponsor a couple of times, but it's the Silverado Resort. So always fun to get the fall season started, but that's going to be September 12th. And all those golfers who finish outside the top 50 trying to make their way into these signature events. Last year you saw Sahith Theegala win this tournament. But I think the fall season is going to see a lot of big names sit it out. But then we do have the President's Cup, 2 weeks after the start of that event in Royal Montreal. And I believe maybe this week picks are coming out for that. So it'll be interesting to see, who Captain Furyk decides to go with.
Do you have a lot of confidence in your captain?
My captain. I mean, I don't know. Is there really that much for him to do? I mean, he's got Xander Schauffele and Scotty Scheffler. I mean, I guess no Bryson, that would have helped, but there's still so much talent.
Right.
I don't think it's really gonna matter.
Oh yeah, so it's a lock.
I mean, kind of.
Yeah, no matter who else because he picks 2 other ones, right? Obviously.
Yeah,
so.
and I think what it is, and I'll double check this, but I think it's the top 6 in the standings, like the President's Cup standings that they do, and then it's 6 captains picked. But I just want to see. So President's Cup standings. Okay, so it's top 6 on the point list. So already Scotty, Xander, Morikawa, Clark, Cantlay, and Thagala have all qualified. And then it's the the captains picks after that. Burns, Finau, Heenley, Bradley, Harmon, and Homa would be chalk. But then you also have like further down, does Aske get a look? Does Denny McCarthy in his putting get a look? Does Billy Horschel, JT? So there's a lot to be determined here, but you think about that top 6 for the U.S. and then on the international side, it's Hideki, Sungjae, Adam Scott, Tom Kim, Jason Day, and Byung-Hung An.
Really?
So there's a talent difference there. I mean, obviously everybody thought the Americans would win in Rome, but it just does seem like they have so much firepower. Hard to see them losing this one.
I mean, Jason Day.
Also, I feel like I forget that Jason Day and Adam Scott are from Australia, especially Adam Scott. For some reason, I'm always thinking he's from like Scotland.
Really?
I
mean, Scotland.
Yeah, or England.
England is
right?
what I
like.
always
Did
think.
you?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like you don't think Australia?
No, not at
Yeah.
all.
So there's some juice there as we head into the fall season, but obviously, Tony, not exactly a stone's throw away from those first tee shots at Augusta National, huh? You think you'll be able to get by? I mean, obviously, we got the football and hockey's around the corner.
Hell yeah,
stretch
dude.
around baseball, so
Absolutely.
playing to keep us busy. And I think the President's Cup will be interested. I mean, some of the other fall events, maybe not as much, but it gives opportunity for lesser known guys to make a name for themselves.
Yeah, no, definitely, dude. Did you get to any golf this weekend or no?
No. So haven't played since Thursday.
Wow,
which is a long time for me.
Yeah, no, true. I was hoping to get this, but obviously it would have been dope to golf with fucking Jeff.
I know.
Oh.
I know. Definitely, like, hopefully next time that he's around, like everyone's available because that would be awesome.
Yeah, definitely, dude. And I know Horseshoe was closed yesterday too for Labor Day. So
wow,
he was definitely like,
yeah. Well, we can talk to him about it on Sunday.
Of course, dude.
Yeah, that's gonna be kind of crazy. Week 1.
That's right, dude. No, I'm trying to think. So we get week 1,
and then week 3,
and then week 3.
Yeah.
So let's fucking go, dude.
It is funny how it happened to work out for week 1, though.
Yeah,
like, is kind of perfect.
Would you? Because then obviously, I'm assuming now, then we would not get to 8. We would not be week 18 there.
Well, yeah, but
we could, I guess, switch it up. You never know.
Switch it up, and then I don't know. But then if we don't have week 18, but then we have wildcard weekend.
Wildcard weekend.
So I feel like wildcard weekend's better anyway. Week 18, sometimes stuff's wrapped up. Maybe there's a couple things,
Yeah, true.
Playoffs always are going to be king. Right?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Well, week 18, never know. A lot of teams blow it, Week 18,
but there's also a lot of games. It's like, why are we even watching games?
Yeah, true.
So, interesting stuff for sure. But let's go now to the world of Major League Baseball.
It's deep to left. It's 700. Albert Pujols.
Yeah, what a play! Stop it, Tony. Yep.
And Alonso cracks one. The Mets win the ball game. Out of sight. And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Throw deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
Oh, and I'm just seeing this on my ESPN.com here. I guess the Niners are finalizing a deal with Trent Williams, so that would mean that he is going to be available. You would assume for Monday Night Football against the Jets. So that's obviously big news coming out of San Francisco. And obviously they had just got the deal done with Ayuk. So that's definitely big there. And I also just saw too. I guess this was a record. But the White Sox, I don't know if it was
Friday.
Oh, you're talking about flexing or no?
I thought you meant their loss record.
Oh, no. I guess Chris Flexen, the pitcher who used to be on the Mets at one time, but they've lost 20 straight starts that he started the game, and that's a record. And then they are rapidly approaching that 120 loss record by the Mets.
I think Friday they're with their 102nd loss. That was their most in franchise history.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
so,
crazy, dude.
You could almost say curse of the Black Sox scandal. I mean, I know they did win in 2005, but have done nothing. I mean, it's crazy how long it just. I don't know what it is. I guess it just, comes down to not having the right people in place, right people in power, right people leading the ship. But they're on another big losing streak. I think they have the 3 longest losing streaks in the MLB. And right now they've lost 11 in a row, getting crushed by 10 to the Orioles yesterday.
Yeah, dude. And of course, we know what happened to them over the weekend against the Mets.
Yeah. Exactly. But before we get to those Mets that DNR could not stop talking about.
I mean, come on.
But it is tough for me because I want to listen to their show, but it's like when they go heavy on them, it's just tough. Like I have to change the station. Like it's like, I just feel like sometimes I don't know. I just feel like they could be, and then I feel like it's a combination of that happens, but then also they like side stories kind of take a while. And I only am in the car, for a half hour, on my way to the office. So it's like I don't get to listen to the show a lot. So it's this morning was definitely bad timing in that regard. Like Dave's so jacked up. Like, you know what I mean? It's you know what I mean? Even me just like, listen, I know I have whatever you want, however you want to describe it with me in the Mets, but it just like, it's tough because it's like, it's not even me trying to like, just, I don't know, downplay whatever they're doing, but it's like, for my small time in the car, it's like, I don't know. I don't want to just listen to that. Is basically what I'm saying.
No, I get it. I get it. I mean, I feel the same way when I'm like tuned in and there's something I'm just not that interested in. They're talking about. Could be about anything, side stories, Yankees, whatever. Because again, you're in the car for a few minutes, or even when I'm setting up here, I'm set up here. It takes like 45 minutes. The show is long. They have a lot to cover, so I get that. But on the other end, I mean, you gotta be a little hyped for the Mets for sure. I mean, half game back now, so.
Oh man,
it wasn't too long ago where Brian has eyes on 5 games back. Okay.
Well, a lot of baseball yet to be played.
No, there is, dude. The Mets have a lot of work to do. They have a very tough schedule still ahead. Playing the Braves, the Phillies still at the end of the season too. So
yeah, exactly. And then. I wasn't going to say anything disparaging, Tony. I was just going to say
exactly.
I did just figure out, because Josh had mentioned this, the FM dial. So I do have like the HD radio. So
nice.
I was able to get it. The only thing is, it seemed like there was a lot of interruptions with it. But for now, I do have that set on my FM, and then I switched back to FAN on the AM.
Right.
Because the 880 just sounds weird. And it's funny too, even though AM, FAN, I'm listening to Yankee games sometimes, the morning show and stuff. That sounds weird, but I'm just used to hearing that sound. So I don't know. It just makes more sense to me. So as long as there's not too much signal interruption,
right?
I'll stick with that.
Would you ever use the app?
No, because I don't. It's like it's a weird thing. I know this day, like everybody has unlimited data. I don't, and it's like I never am like blocked from using it. But sometimes as I get closer to that, then it's saying, oh, they're going to slow it down and stuff.
Right.
So I try to not use too much data because I'm obviously on it for like fantasy a lot and everything. So it's just,
fair enough.
And just something, I don't know. I just, when I'm in the car, it's just nice just to have the radio and not have to use my phone. For
And again, if you go back and forth too, like it's, it makes for good use. But I do use the app, especially again while I'm here too, setting up, have the app on, and the app comes in just like FM radio used to. So
which
is interesting. It's a very interesting operation they got going on now.
Yeah. So hopefully there's not any big cuts around the corner, because obviously we've lost a couple. Hopefully they don't continue, because ESPN Radio, I mean, we know the talent that's on there, and you want to stick to that.
Oh, definitely, dude. I mean, those guys really shouldn't be going anywhere. And I would think now, like their cuts are probably done for, as like football starting, we're getting into the actual year now.
You would think, but these
Oh,
things
why?
tend to surprise you.
Really?
Well, I'm just saying, it just at a moment's notice,
Right.
anybody could be gone. Like, I know it's like it makes sense because like football's around the corner, different thing, kind of, but not really because same company, maybe just a different branch. But like RG3 getting let go, like I didn't see
Mhm.
that coming, and Samantha Ponder, as well. I think she was the NFL Countdown host, and I think Greeny's now the host of that. It's so funny that like he ends up being the host of everything.
Literally. I like Greeny a lot.
No, I do, but I'm
yeah.
saying it's crazy that he just
Mhm.
it's like they just want him to be in charge of
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. Why are you like a little too much Greeny for you think?
No. It's just no, not too much Greeny, but it's just like I'm saying, it's just kind of interesting because he's already doing countdown. I know he hosts the draft as well, like NBA countdown. I'm saying, or is it? Yeah, that's what it's called, NBA countdown. So and then obviously he has his radio show, but then he has Get Up. So I mean, he's busy.
He's got a lot going on for sure. Did you see? It must have been College Game Day with Saban and Pat McAfee. I don't know if you saw this. It must have been during a commercial break or something. But someone was taking a video, and Pat McAfee. There's like some rap song going on in the background, and McAfee is like singing. He's like dancing, whatever. And dude, Saban is just like sitting there on his laptop and just giving him like the meanest side eye. And like this guy's like, dude, Saban's like gonna quit at any moment.
You think
dude.
he's tight?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Saban is a fucking no nonsense, disciplined guy.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee is, not to say he's not disciplined or isn't nonsense, but he's got a shtick.
I think though Saban should let loose. I mean, he's obviously the best college football of the modern coach of all time of the modern era.
Yeah.
And he gets to just enjoy life now instead of like having these 20-hour work days. He should just lighten up. I think honestly, he's accomplished a lot.
Yeah.
I think what's left for him now is just to enjoy life.
Do you think he's kind of like having a tough time filling his time? You think maybe like he wants to be back in the saddle?
I mean, I guess you'd have to ask his wife that, right?
Yeah.
a lot of times you do hear that.
Yeah, no, definitely, dude.
Not saying anything about any, filing or papers or anything. Anyhow, obviously extended weekend here. So, I mean, if you think about the 4 days in all, the Yankees end up going 2-2. So kind of disappointing. And, we'll get to last night's win, which was nice. And really, this has been for a couple of series now. It seems like where they start the series strong, win the first game, and then it's a struggle the next two. And they had chances to win both of those games and ultimately didn't. Again, a team under 500. So it just kind of leaves you a little unsettled. I mean, obviously you have the whole thing where it's like, oh, well, we're not going to have to face these teams again. But you just would like, a little more consistency. Let's run off 5 out of 6, 9 out of 10, 12 out of 15. Instead of kind of toggling here. I mean, obviously still in first place. But the Matthew Ryan Yanni game was both good for both of them. As the Yankees end up winning 6-3, 7 strong from Stroman, which is what you needed to see. Did give up 9 hits, but only 2 runs, no walks, and struck out 5. And you got 2 scoreless innings from the bullpen between Cousins, Canely, and Holmes. So the bullpen did a good job before a complete implosion on Sunday, which we'll get to. But this game featured Austin Wells hitting 2 home runs. So he's really heated up since, he's had a lot of games where he's batting cleanup. So, you love to see what he's doing. And then also in this game, Soto was 2 for 4. Wells, with the 2 home runs, had 4 RBIs. That was really it from the offense, but definitely did enough. And Glaber has been, really had a renaissance at the leadoff position. 2 runs scored in this one. And I believe he's hitting, they were talking about on the broadcast last night, 340 since being moved to the leadoff spot. And It's interesting, though, because you think about the type of player Glaber is, and I think he's changed his approach a little bit, but you don't think about him as your prototypical leadoff hitter.
No, not at all, dude. But hey, I mean, if that's his spot that he's doing well in, I mean, you got to keep him there, right?
Yeah. And, he had a nice play to actually end the game last night as well. So he hasn't really made the fielding errors and has been hitting well. But obviously the whole thing is, you don't want to fall into the trap thinking that you're going to re-sign him. But I mean, if he can provide you, a good leadoff hitter the rest of the way here and be sound in the field, I mean, of course you'll welcome it.
Oh yeah.
You don't have another option right now, and like, of course, the discussion of who's going to replace him, will come up in the offseason. But Saturday was a tough one, 6-5, and one of those things we were reminded once again that Will Warren right now is just not a major league pitcher. The Yankees were fortunate to rally late to get back in this thing. But he just kind of, put it out of reach from the start here. Only going 4 innings and giving up 4 runs. So he's just he's shown an ability or no ability really to limit the team. Hold them down to 3 runs or less over 5 innings. He just can't do it. So that really hurt them. The bullpen was pretty good, but Mark Leiter, I mean, it's just been a disaster since he came over to the Yankees. Other than him, the bullpen threw 3 scoreless innings, but he pitched 2 innings and gave up another run. Just a completely bloated ERA since coming over to the Yankees here. Offensively, was a struggle early, not getting the runners in from scoring position. But like I said, there was a late rally, and we'll get to the particulars here. So, you had Volpe, did get the Yankees the lead there in the second, 1-0 on a single. So good to see him getting some big hits. But then, in the third inning, you give up 4 runs, Arenado single and a Donovan 3-run homer. You look up at the scoreboard, it's 4-1. And then Herrera with a double made it 5-1 and also scored on a throwing error by Austin Wells to make it 6-1. But the Yankees in the 8th, rally with a Volpe infield single, to make it 6-2. And then with 2 outs, Giancarlo Stanton, who's been terrible in his career as a pinch hitter, didn't start this one. Narrowly misses yet another center field home run. Seems like he's hit a lot of home runs to center field this year. Hits off the top of the wall, clears the bases 6-5. But unfortunately, don't get him in to end that inning and don't rally in the 9th inning. So you go down here 6-5. Had an opportunity to rally in the 9th as well. So it's just one of those games where, I mean, you had 12 hits, you scored 5 runs, 4 for 12 runs in scoring position. I mean, that's really not too bad. But Warren can't be a starter. He won't be a starter because this week you're going to get back Luis Heel and Clark Schmidt. So some decisions to be made there in the rotation, but it's nice to know that, Warren's not going to have to start these games. So it just was unfortunate there. You felt like if you had any other starting pitcher, you had a pretty good chance to win that game, but, you don't. And then, it was on to a Sunday's game where, you felt things were looking good early on. And then it's like one of those things, anytime you give the opponent extra outs, and it happened on a play with Alex Verdugo in left field, didn't get a good read on the ball. The ball drops in with 2 outs. And then, of course, the next batter hits a home run. And next thing you know, you've given up 7 runs. You make a comeback. But the bullpen, I mean, was just absolutely horrendous in this one. Giving up 9 runs, Tony, between Efros, Maeza, Cousins, Canely, Bickford, and Marinaccio. So you lose this game 14-7. Nestor was cruising along, and then that ball falls in. And he only ends up going 4 innings and giving up 9 hits, 5 runs, 1 walk, and striking out 2. But what it was, so we'll back it up here. I mean, the Cardinals do score first here. A Jordan Walker single. He had like 4 hits in this game, I believe. So he was on fire. So that made it 1-0. But Stanton, who's really been heating up, his 24th homer of the season, his patented bulleted shot to left field, tied the game at 1. And then Jazz, wrecking havoc on the bases, scoring on a throwing error by Miles Mikolas, made it 2-1. But then in the 4th there, Win with that 2-out double that falls in. Verdugo, I don't know if he wasn't paying attention or it was just a bad read. But then Walker and Sousa, or not Walker, but Baker and Sousa homer next batter. So all of a sudden, you go into the inning, you're up 2-1. You're up 2-1 with 2 outs in the inning. and then you give 4 runs. So it just seems like, the extra outs, we talk about it all the time, that killed him. Walker does homer the following inning, so that makes it 7-2. But Yankees start to come back here. Anthony Rizzo making his first appearance in 2 months with a RBI double here, made it 7-3. Verdugo single 7-4. Glaber single 7-5. Volpe single 7-6. And then Glaber, a sac fly. So we're tied at 7. But no more offense the rest of the game. Bullpen gives up 7 runs. I mean, just no excuse for that. So it was like really tough to lose this series when you had ample opportunity both games to come back. But again, the whole thing there, I mean, a lot easy to play, to your strengths, play with a lead rather than relying on coming back. But the bullpen, nevertheless, just needs to do a better job. There's no other way to say it. And, I think they will, and you'll get, Ian Hamilton back sooner rather than later as well. And Marinaccio, did give up those 2 runs in this game, but I expect him to, be a strong piece for them in the pen. And Efros, you would hope, had been on a good run in AAA before coming back from the injured list. So hopefully he can be reliable as well. But then you were on to yesterday, which ended up being an 8-4 victory here. Garrett Cole on the mound and pitched very well for the Yankees in this one. Had a little scare too. Was going to come out for the 7th inning, but cramped up. You first saw it, you're like, oh, geez, hope it's not strained cap, but they just say cramp, so he should be fine. But definitely could have won another inning or 2 potentially. But he gives them 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts, and ERA now down to 3.65, his 6th victory of the season. Offensively for the Yankees, who else but Gleyber Torres, who had 3 hits in this one, a big play at the end of the game as well. So really producing out of that leadoff spot. He got the scoring started in the 3rd with a double to score Verdugo and Volpe to make it 2-0. Smith answers back with a 2-out double of his own in the bottom half of that inning to make it 2-1. But then in the 6th inning, the Yankees score 5 runs, a Judge double, a Jazz single, a Rizzo ground rule double. So Rizzo making an impact here in his first 2 games back from the injured list. So that made it 6-1. And then Jazz scores on a wild pitch after stealing 2nd and 3rd. So the power, the speed, that has been one of the rare Brian Cashman gem deals at the deadline. He's hitting over 300, slugging over 600, stealing bases left and right since he joined this team. So that makes it 7-1, and you kind of cruise from there. Langford does hit a homer off Luke Weaver to make it 7-3, but then Stanton gets one back. Another center field home run, his 25th of the year. So he's back. He's ready. He's dialed in, and you really hope that he continues this down the stretch because it really changes the lineup. That made it 8-3. And then the Yankees actually, because he hadn't pitched in like 4 or 5 days, they go to Clay Holmes, 1 out into the 9th inning. So one of those things doesn't make sense. You started Hill out with that inning, got an out.
Classic.
So you bring him in middle of the inning, gives up a hit, a walk. But Glaber makes a really nice play to end the game. 2 more runs may have scored to really tighten this thing up, but dives and then makes a good throw over. It is amazing. I feel like it's one of those things with Glaber here. There's just no explanation for it, but obviously the Yankees welcome it. But like I said, I think the key is to not fall into the trap. But I don't think that they will, because I think they've wanted to get rid of him for the last couple of years. It just couldn't match up the pieces, and I think they're just trying to get everything out of him. I mean, I don't see as for right. I mean, you can't see something.
You can't resign.
No. And I'm telling you, like, I know you're tight, but I really think he's gonna end up with the Mets. I'm just telling you. I just have this feeling. It just
Why would he end up with the Mets?
You have to ask the Mets that, because you know that they do that a lot. They like, I mean, they just did it with Severino and then Bader. Yeah. And it's interesting. I know you're gonna say no, but I could see him being better than McNeil at second, honestly. I know it's like you have the McNeil thing, like drafted all of that, but I just think McNeil has shown the last couple of years. I mean, he's not a good player, and not to say that Glaber doesn't have faults of his own.
I mean,
but I still think he's better. Honestly, I do.
I would have to look up
it's got to be close though, right?
Perhaps, but I would imagine that McNeil has less errors in the field.
Yeah, I mean, probably, because I think we said that Glaber led the league, but it's been playing a sound second base. So, I mean, I think he owes us that, though, to like finish strong here, maybe have a good postseason as well. I mean, historically, he's hit well in the postseason. So,
and now the whole Rizzo thing.
Yeah.
Where are you sitting with that?
Love it.
Love it?
Yeah, I mean, Rice was
Right.
mired in the slump. We don't need to talk about DJ LeMayo ever again on this show. And it's like, yes, I like Oswaldo Cabrera, but Rizzo, and he made some good scoops at first base, and I think he was out a while, and he knows, I mean, barring something very unforeseen, I mean, they have that team option for $17 million. I can't see them picking that up in the offseason. So this is his last run with the Yankees. He really wants to bring them a title. So I think we're going to see the best out of Anthony Rizzo. And I'm not saying it's going to be prime Anthony Rizzo, middle of the lineup, but I just think when you've had some of the worst first base production in the league, if he's just average and then making those scoops and everything at first, it's worth having him in the lineup. And you would expect him to run into a homer or two. I mean, he's already had 2 doubles his first 2 games back.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I definitely am rooting for him. You know, great guy. We know about his history too.
Yeah,
so
the cancer survivor,
exactly,
all that.
dude.
All he gives
So
back
you
to the
definitely root for
community.
him, dude. And even again, like the past couple of years with the concussion and stuff like that. I mean, you do feel for the guy a little bit. So you want him to succeed, certainly. And then I guess next up would be Marinaccio. Now, we haven't seen him, you know, first time we saw him this past weekend in what seems like a lifetime.
Right.
Gave up 2 runs, I think, right?
Yeah, 2 runs.
He pitched.
Yeah.
I mean, how did he look, though?
You know, actually, at that point, the game was out of hand. I think I was at the beach, so I actually didn't see it.
Okay.
But he was just called up for the doubleheader a few weeks ago, pitched well, so I know he's going to be good. Mark Leiter, I mean, there's a lot to be questioned there. That seems like it was a bad bullpen acquisition. Weaver, too, you know, has been spotty. Canely had a scoreless run of 18 straight games, and then gave up, you know, those runs on Sunday. And then Clay, you know, as well. We know that the whole, you always feel nervous. It's so crazy with him, and it's like, I don't know. I guess we'll see how Hamilton comes back. Maybe that's something they'll look at, but it seems like they want to give Clay every opportunity.
Yeah.
But like, I get tight, and like, this is obviously just like a complete indictment on Clay when like they bring him in non-safe, because I just feel whenever he comes in, I just get like such like anxiety, and it just feels like if we have someone else pitching for some reason, I feel more comfortable, even though he's supposed to be our best reliever.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It's tough, dude. Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I feel like overall over the weekend, I mean, we said it going into the weekend too. I mean, the Yankees, unfortunately, do not have a good record against bad teams.
Yeah.
So, you know, in terms of losing that series against the Cardinals, I mean, it's whatever. But hey, you're getting the job done. It seems against the Rangers here.
Yeah. So
hopefully, you know, they can win this series. And you just hope that, you know, games that you lost like that against bad teams aren't going to affect you winning the division. But we'll see.
Well, right now it will if you don't take a break. You can't lose the next 2 to the Rangers.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Hopefully that game. Yeah.
Because the White Sox are playing the Orioles. That's the biggest thing. So I mean, you can't assume anything. I mean, it's a long losing streak. Maybe they're due to snap it. But you have to figure they're going to win 2 out of 3 in that series at least. You know,
got to be careful.
Yeah.
We could have 2 New York wildcard teams.
We're winning the division, buddy. Not playing a wild card series. Okay, I'll tell you that much. So you know, tonight, Rodon, after a clunker last time out, you know, really needs to deliver. You know, he's matched up against Andrew Heaney, the former Yankee great, who's 4-13 this season, but does have a 3.95 earned run average. Has pitched better of late, but I saw enough Andrew Heaney a few years ago to know that you know, this is a pitcher you need to take advantage of, and this is a guy. Let's solve this you know, left-handed you know, pitcher problem here, where you got to just win this game. Like, no matter what, win the game. You had a great night offensively last night, and I think the big thing, and I don't know if you saw any highlights of the game or anything, but Jack Leiter was pitching, so they kept panning to Al in the crowd.
Oh yeah,
he worked for 12 years for the Yes Network. Actually, you know, stopped in 2019. But I think it's like he is a talented pitcher, but I don't know if he's been rushed or whatever it is, but he's just not ready. I'm saying, to be a major league pitcher, right-handed too, so they have success. Knock him out after 5 runs earned through 5. But Heaney, it's like we just saw what Patrick Corbin did, and we know, I mean, let's face it, even though we're not high on Heaney, he's a better pitcher than Patrick Corbin. So just like stick to your approach. You know, Glaber's been taking more pitches in the leadoff spot. And you know, Rodon, I mean, give us 6 innings of 2 runs or less. I mean, he owes us that.
Oh yeah, at the very least.
So and also too, like I said, it's been a couple of series in a row where you've lost the second game of the series. Like I don't even remember the last time they won the second game of the series. Like, win the fucking game, the second game of the series. Like,
oh yeah,
you have to.
You have to
win this series, secure the series. Like, let's go.
At the end of the day, you think Rodon
Like
lights out?
6, yeah. I mean, we'll talk about it
Yeah,
in the
Nick-
abbreviated, but
Not yet.
the Mets. So let's just get to the Mets, Tony,
Yes,
because I know
dude.
you are very stoic on them after what is it, 4 in a row or 5 in a row?
5 in a row, Brian.
5 in a
Come
row.
on.
And how many of those games against teams with losing? Nah, I'm just kidding, because I know then you can go back to the Yankees, but I had to at least point it out. I mean, historically bad team in the White Sox.
Strike it from the
3 of
record.
those wins.
Strike that statement from the record, okay, dude? But I do want to get to this comment first, actually. We have a comment from Cody is the best from Rumble, actually. What's wrong with Florida State? DJ looks so bad, but my Bulldogs made Dabo look so bad as well. What do you got?
Yeah, well, Florida State, I
Mhm.
mentioned the 0-2 start,
Yeah.
but it's DJ. There you go. I mean, that guy was very disappointing for Clemson. That's why he had the transfer. So I think the idea, transfer portal, all of that this guy has failed after having a lot of hype, that all of a sudden he's going to turn it on and be one of the best quarterbacks in the country, I think is blasphemy.
Wow.
So I think that's what it is. I mean, we know who DJ, and it's like Umbaleu or whatever. One of those things I'm not even going to really attempt seriously to pronounce. But that's the deal there. And then, talking about, Georgia, continue their dominance, playing a ranked opponent there in Clemson, but putting it on them pretty good, in Clemson having one of their worst seasons under Dabo in quite some time. Unfortunately, they get off to that start, but I think they're going to be good. But Georgia, I mean, has just been really one of the best teams in the country, and obviously have won back-to-back titles. So going for 3, actually not have won back-to-back titles, but went to back-to-back title games, won the title the season before, whatever, Tony. Point being, they're a powerhouse. We know it. And we'll get into more college football as the season goes on. Whatever.
But first, obviously, let's get to the Mets here, Brian. As I mentioned, they won 5 in a row. They're now a half game back of the Braves. Yes, you could say, oh, it's the White Sox, whatever. But hey, they saw the White Sox. Okay, it was honestly kind of a big deal for me anyway. But you want to look at these past few games.
Severino.
Last night against the Red Sox. Okay, dude. Great job by him. But obviously, last Friday, on the White Sox, you Tyler McGill get the start there. Someone, again, who no matter what happens, he could pitch a gem, his last start. Whenever you see him on the mound, you are a little nervous. He pitched very well. 5 1/3, 5 hits, only 1 earned run, 1 walk, 6 Ks. And I mean, that 1 earned run was the only run from the White Sox, which was in the first inning. On the first, Andrew Benintendi had the RBI double. So what looked like going to be a short night for McGill, he ends up buckling down, finding the strike zone, limiting, I guess, his walks, just that 1 walk in the first inning again, and then went through the next 5 innings unscathed. And then, top of the second, again, maybe a big reason why McGill was able to settle down. The offense was kind of bumping. Beta grounds out into fielder's choice. Winker scores there, who's on base. Winker, I think, batting like 340, I think.
Yeah, really got going after that walk-off.
Yeah, no, really has gotten going. Speaking of that, top of the third there, gets an RBI double, Winker there, for his second hit of the game by the third inning. In that same inning, J.D. Martinez, homer to left center, who is now on paternity leave. So congrats to him. But what a great way to, ring in his last game for going off with that another dinger there. On top of the ninth, you had Vientos with a sac fly RBI. That was the 5-1 score right there. But the story there, for Friday would be, yes, McGill, but then the bullpen, dude. Ottavino, Garrett, Matone, and Diaz all dialed in, ready to go, not giving up 1 run at all.
Barely
between those
thrown any
4
pitches.
Literally, so very efficient.
Highest pitch count was 11. I mean, how often do you see that? 4 relievers?
Which is very impressive, especially when that 11-pitch reliever was Reed Garrett, dude, So obviously, bullpen was dialed. Diaz, as I mentioned with his save against the D-backs, fastballs, hammering them, dude. Tickle my throat, Brian.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
That's all right. I mean, if that's all you want to say about the Mets, I mean, that's fine. We get it. They're on a good run. Come on, Tony. I had to at least just put it out there.
Ridiculous. So anyway, moving on to Saturday, obviously another Met victory, also scoring 5 runs. This one was a little bit more early and often. Jose Quintana on the mound, another pitcher where, yes, I know it's the White Sox, but you never know. But just like McGill, 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 walks, 1 earned run, 6 Ks, efficient as well. Scoring was a little bit, I guess, maybe more intensive here just because it happened in the first. Alonso His home run, I believe that was his 29th home run at the time. Winker right after him, another home run, dude. You love that. Back-to-back home runs from the Mets right there. Alonso was a 2-run, so after the first inning, you're up 3-0. You're cruising. Quintana does give up a ground out RBI right there in the second, but other than that, he was pretty smooth there. And then again, like Winker, who's absolutely red hot after that home run, back up in the third inning. RBI single. Scores Lindor, moves Nimmo to third. Lindor, Nimmo.
Josh Bree? Well, he'll chop it.
He will definitely chop it. And then, obviously, the Winker single, I'm thinking of actually different play, never mind. But then bottom of the third, Quintana does give up another RBI single. Again, couple walks, couple hits given up, typical Quintana. But you just see him get out of some jams against the White Sox, and I feel like, innings where he has a leadoff walk, it's just like been devastating for him. But he was able to kind of keep it under control, limiting, I think by the third inning, he didn't give up any other walks after that. And then Marte, who again also has been hitting really well since he's been back from injury. I think he's hitting like 270 something since he's been back. He has an RBI single, scores Alonso. Winker moves to second. It seems like Winker was on base all weekend. Bottom of the ninth, he gets into some trouble with Buteau. Who does give up another ground out RBI, nothing crazy. Does get out of the inning, though, I think induces back-to-back ground outs after that one to end the game. So they win 5-3. Obviously, now moving on to Sunday, which was an emphatic 2-0 shutout victory. Sean Manaea, who's been absolutely red hot, 7 innings, no earned runs, only 2 hits over those 7 innings and 2 walks. Obviously, strikeout stuff, nothing crazy, just 5 Ks there. Reed Garrett. Another great setup by him out of the bullpen. Diaz comes in again to close out this game. He gets his 16th save here. 3 up, 3 down, all strikeouts. Once again, dude, the fastballs. I don't know if it was Hefner, the pitching coach, or maybe just Diaz maybe knew he should be throwing his fastball, but doesn't have enough confidence in it to start throwing it. But obviously, like I said, since that Diamondbacks save there, he's been hammering that fastball, rarely throwing the sweeper. Which is great because I thought when he did develop that sweeper, that was the whole point of it, to have that there just as like a supplementary pitch just in case. Obviously started relying on it too much, I think, this year, which is why he was blowing saves, giving up runs, even though it wasn't a ton. Right. It was all off the sweeper, And now he's having that fastball, which again, I don't know if he was just hesitant to get behind that fastball, but not only is he throwing it more, but he's hitting 99 and 100 now again, which is great.
That is, yeah.
It's exactly what you want from your closer.
Gonna need him.
Exactly. Coming in,
you can have Reed Garrett.
You can't do that. Yeah. So he's been absolutely dialed, and over the course of the weekend, you're both
3 straight games.
No, Saturday he didn't.
Oh,
Friday,
gotcha.
Sunday.
Yeah.
But your bullpen gave up just 1 earned run over the course of the weekend.
Yeah.
Which I don't know for sure, but I think I can pretty confidently say it's never happened this year. Okay.
Probably not.
Because they've been dog shit. So it's great that you can kind of lean on them. And then of course, Monday you want to be pretty hyped, or yesterday I should say, series now against the Red Sox, obviously Mets, tough schedule, not a lot of days off here. So the home against the Red Sox last night. Severino, you mentioned, pitches an absolute gem. 7 innings, 6 hits, but only 1 earned run, 2 walks. He was absolutely dialed. He was literally so amped. He has so much emotion pitching against the Red Sox. I don't know what it was, if he just wanted it. But he was definitely very focused, and you saw that in his level of play.
Definitely the inner Yankee in him, right?
I don't know about that one, dude. But speaking of the bullpen, young Matone comes in the 9th. Also didn't give up any earned runs. 1 inning by each of them, 2 Ks by each of them as well. Looking pretty dialed. So now that's 4 days of just 1 earned run now between those 4 games there. So you'll have to see that. The scoring was a little bit more often here for the Mets than Sunday. Starting Marte, who I mentioned, batting really well, bottom of the second, grounds out double play, but does score Iglesias, who I think is batting over 300 as well. So he's been.
Wait, what's the average? No, because I'm saying I feel like though.
Iglesias 315.
Okay, so I'm saying it because I feel like it was very high for a while, and since
then it dipped down. It was below 300 for a minute, dude. Yeah. It was.
Okay.
So he's battling back, dude. You have to see that 2 hits there for Lindor on the night, and I think it was Sunday's game actually, where Nimmo had, or maybe it was Brendan Nimmo. Yeah, doubled. It was bottom of the third. last night. Nimmo hits this double over the center fielder's head. Lindor from first to home, dude. That was sick. Like his speed on the bags was dope. Flying into home plate there. He was riled as well, showing a lot of emotion. That made it 2-1. Terrens, because Alvarez had the night off. He roped a double to left to score Stewart as well. I think it's just a Stewart. Yeah, so it's 3-1 right there. And then Lindor, another RBI hit, scoring Terrens right after that. Made it 4-1. That was the end of it. I mentioned the bullpen, how great they are. Lindor's been on fire. Alonso has 30 home runs now, so that was great to see that. And yeah, dude, I mean, I feel like the Mets right now, you won 5 in a row. The Braves lost the series against the Phillies. You're a half game back in the wild card right now. Everything seems to be out ahead of you. And you kind of want to, get back to the winning tonight. You got Peterson on the mound against Cutter Crawford. Peterson, who has been the Mets' best pitcher in the rotation this year. You want to rely on that. Again, the offense has been great. The situational hitting as well has been pretty impressive by the Mets. And again, I know you want to say, White Sox this, White Sox that. Red Sox, a little bit of, a very different team, I should say.
They're really going through it, though, right now.
Right now, they are, yeah.
They were like, they hit a little bit of a hot streak. Kind of actually like, I guess it was, was it during Mad Dog when the Yankees blew that game, Luke Weaver and stuff? They were really hot. And then you look at this. I mean, what is it? They've lost 4 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm sure, their monthly record is probably pretty bad as well.
Yeah, they swept by the Diamondbacks. They split the 4-game set with the Blue Jays.
I think this is going to result in the swan song for Alex Cora as manager, expiring contract.
Ooh.
Ownership has been notoriously cheap recently.
Very true.
I mean, right or no?
Yeah, I mean, you would think so. I mean, again, unless, ownership for the Red Sox is very odd to me.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't want to find someone new and may just want to stick with Cora, but they don't, like you said, they've been cheap recently. They don't want to spend money. So I don't know.
And you would think he's not like planning on a discount.
I wouldn't think so, dude. Which is so I don't understand how. Again, the owners of the Red Sox are so weird because I mean, look at the attendance too. I mean, Fenway. They go to the game. They
even with a limited capacity. Too.
Yeah, literally, dude. I still think the capacity was. I think there were 35,000 people there last night. So I don't know why they're hesitant to spend money, but I mean, it is what it is, I suppose.
I mean, the one thing I know, the Yankees are trying to do more of this, and I've talked about it. I mean, it's just, you're always going to be beneficial being strong with your farm system. Yes, that's the key ingredient to plenty of World Series winning teams.
Yeah, no, definitely, dude. Just like how the Mets have some good, farm hands in their system, and now,
I think there's not even me being how I am with the Mets. I mean, there's still
there's some more there, dude.
That's to put it lightly, I would say, right or no?
All right, yeah, I take it easy a little bit.
But I mean, come on.
Yes, they do need a lot of work, in their farm system. But listen, right now, the 5-game win streak, you're pretty hyped. Things look good for you tonight, TBS game. But again, you just want to get the job done. All right, dude. These win streaks, again, especially in September for Mets fans, it's almost like gets you a little nervous, even.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like, oh, they're gonna blow up. But like I said, Peterson, confidence in him. Cutter Crawford has had good starts this year. We've seen it. But still a very hittable pitcher.
Yeah. I mean, this is where you got to just win this game because you never know. McGill Houck tomorrow could be difficult. Yeah, and at the end of the day, you just want to keep winning series. I don't care about the win streak. You win this game, I'll feel comfortable about the 3rd game against the Red Sox. And then obviously we'll take Cincinnati and the upcoming series one at a time here because it is, it's no easy feat. I think they have the 3rd hardest remaining schedule. I think the Mets. Oh, I don't know what the SOS is like around the league, but wouldn't surprise me. I know they have a couple, strong opponents here. Mm-hmm. I think we got a couple more comments in here. Oh, yeah, we do. We have Jimmy Bukta in the house, actually. Jimmy B. Nice to hear from JB. Says, what is up, Downtime TV? Yankees looked great last night. And then Josh being here with a couple laughing emojis, dude. Why do you think he's up? Just Jimmy, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, they did look good last night, did they not? I know, like, listen, it's tough for me too, Josh. I get it. Some of these games, like, they definitely should have, won more of, but it's about right now. And you just hope, like I said, what I want to see more than anything, like I said, is just winning the 2nd game of a series. Like, just following up that 1st game. Let's just start there. One thing that did piss me off over the weekend, and it's just like, one of those things where it's like, who cares about a fucking draft pick? But Jason Dominguez wasn't promoted because they want to keep his number of at-bats down, so he's eligible for the American League Rookie of the Year next season because they would receive a extra draft pick if he wins the thing. I don't know if it's something to do with that they developed him or through the international pipeline, whatever. Or maybe you just get it for winning any Rookie of the Year, no matter how you acquire the player. But, I mean, it's just like, I don't know. We're in a tight division race here, and I guess since he's on the 40-man, they could still bring him up later on, and then he'll be eligible for the postseason. But it's just, why are we messing around with that? I mean, Verdugo, I mean, I know he's had a couple good games last few weeks here and there, but I mean, it's right. I mean, isn't that kind of embarrassing to pull that type of thing? Like Dominguez has to be pissed too. Like, I hope this doesn't create some type of rift with the player, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, extra draft pick though, like how important is that to you?
Well, I mean, we just talked about the farm, but
Yeah.
I think how important is it to me? But it's never going to be more important than doing everything I
winning
can
right
to
now?
put us in the best position to win right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, do you think Dominguez would be tight?
I mean, how could he not be? But I think what they're going to do most likely have him finish out the season in AAA. And then by the time that's over, I think, you know, he won't reach the requisite number of at-bats to make him ineligible for that all-important 2025 Rookie of the Year. But I guess at the same time, it just there's ifs here. But it's like if he does come up and then he is starting in the postseason, I mean, he's been in fire in AAA, should be ready to produce, but it just seems like the wrong thing to be concerned about. Extra draft pick compensation.
Yeah. So if you were in charge, Dominguez up right now.
Dominguez was up, you know, 3 months ago.
That's crazy.
So, you know, and you know who else knows that is the Downtime TV account is also known as Michael Theophil, saying legends, LOL. So good to hear from Michael, but he knows it. But I mean,
Michael Viavel?
You know, I always put my optimistic interlocking NY cap on, Tony, but I'm just hoping that, I mean, I think they will bring him up once like past the at-bat threshold, and I think he can be impactful. But would you consider it kind of like a playing with fire? Because like you're not gonna give him that many major league games before the postseason starts. I mean, right? I mean, it's just.
I mean, yeah, dude. Yeah, it is playing with fire because, like you said, you're in a very tight race right now.
Yeah.
And you really don't want to be playing a wild card series.
Yeah.
You want to win the division emphatically, and again, I mean, Dominguez would give you theoretically the best shot at winning these games. So
yeah, I mean, it's like not hard. It's hard to argue that anybody else in left field. I mean, just Verdugo. I mean, and it's like, yeah, like he's got a good arm and stuff. Usually he's good in the field, but he's also made some mistakes there the last couple of months as well. So just like I said, I hope that doesn't hurt us in the long run, and I hope it doesn't hurt our relationship with Dominguez because, you know, to bring up Duke Ellis, I mean, nobody even knows who Duke Ellis is, Tony. They're selling it as a pinch runner, late game, defensive replacement, but it's like, I mean, you would think that once that at-bat threshold, you know, comes up, I mean, you would think that it would be a no-brainer. They're going to put him in because obviously they want to win this year. So
correct.
Fingers crossed they do the right thing and everything's smoothed out with Dominguez. But we'll just have to start from there, right?
That's right.
So really, you know, the only thing, you know, matter of business remaining here, Tony, is a full-on abbreviated baseball frenzy.
You got it, Brian. It's our first frenzy of September. I can't believe we're in the 9th month of the year, Brian. But so much great baseball left to be played. Tight races. 25 games left, I think, give or take here. But let's freaking go. Do you know the deal? 7:10 p.m. TBS Citi Field in Flushing, baby. The Mets are taking on the Red Sox. I told you the pitching matchup. Cutter Crawford, David Peterson here. Crawford, who, again, you know, we've seen him have good starts against the Mets, against the Yankees even. But nonetheless, 8-12 record, a 4.12 ERA, has given up 28 home runs over 155 innings pitched. That's pretty interesting. And then you said it, Brian, Red Sox going through a little bit of a rut here. You know who's not? The New York Mets, dude. 5-game win streak. Peterson, Dial, 2.83 ERA, having a career year. On the money line here, the Mets are minus 150. Your over-under is 8.5, which is pretty interesting.
Gotta take the over.
I think I am going to take the over. I would be willing to bet, if I was a betting man, that Cutter Crawford gets popped. I think Crawford goes maybe
he looked like shit.
like 4 2/3, maybe. I think like we've seen so much this past weekend and this year, Mets scoring early and often. Lindor at the leadoff position here. Winker red hot. I think they can score 3 runs on him in the first. Maybe he settles down a little bit, but again, 4th, 5th inning rolls around. You're talking 90, maybe even 100 pitches by Crawford. They work into the bullpen early on. Peterson, in the meantime, coasts his way to 7 innings, 3 earned runs, maybe 8 or 9 Ks, 1 walk. Has been dialed in on the accuracy there, the location. And Alonso, why not? 31st home run for Alonso. Maybe Oppo, who knows, dude. And give me Vientos with another dinger as well. Mets go on to win this game. I'm going to say 7-3. So give me Mets and the over. And they're going to go on to obviously win this series. Let's go, Brian. What do you got?
Wow, that would be a big win there in Flushing.
Huge.
Speaking of big wins, Carlos Rodon looking for that 15th win of the season tonight. Andrew Heaney, for what he put us through as Yankee fans, we better tattoo him. I don't want to hear about the whole left-handed angle. And I think Boone alluded to last night, Wells, you'll probably be off today. Don't have him be off today. Let's have him in the lineup. We don't need Jose Trevino for this one. But also, Judge and Soto had some hits last night, but we haven't seen him hit a dinger in a while. I think this is the perfect opportunity for both of them to go yard. And listen, Stan's been on a heater, so why not give him number 26 of the season as well? And I think Rodon, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, striking out 9. And I think this is an over game as well. Total set at 8.5. Need to get to number 9. So I think the Yankees will win this game 7-4. Yankees in the over.
All right, let's go. Second game here. Huge game for the Yankees tonight, dude. I guess I'll go with Seattle here. Why not? The Mariners are in the Coliseum here. Luis Castillo on the mound here. Getting the start. Okay year for him, I guess. 11-12 record. Obviously, Mariners kind of went through it this year, but 3.65 ERA for him. A little trouble with the long ball, 23 home runs given up. But nonetheless, Mariners are going to bounce back a little bit after losing 5-4 last night against the A's. I can see them bouncing back here. I really can't see the A's winning again here. Obviously, we know the story of the A's. But I think Castillo, maybe goes a little bit more like, 2023 Castillo, where he's dealing here 7 innings of shutout baseball. Honestly, it's the A's. Over under 8.5. I'm gonna hammer the under, to be honest. I see Seattle wins this. Maybe Cal Raleigh, maybe a 3-run homer in the 5th home run. They win 3-0.
All right.
Raleigh.
So I am gonna do an under myself. This will be at the benefit of your New York Yankees. Give me the White Sox. I know 11 in a row, embarrassing team. Every blind squirrel finds a nut. Who cares about Baltimore minus 315? I think just look at the pitching matchup here. I think this is what gives the White Sox a shot. I know you look at the streamy 7.04 ERA, but Povich not too far behind with a 6.58. So if the White Sox were ever going to have a strong game, this would be the game. I think the Strini somehow strings together 5 scoreless. This White Sox offense somehow scores 5 runs. Wins this game 5-1, shocking the birds. The White Sox in the under.
All right, love it there. A shocker there from Brian.
In Baltimore.
And I'm going to take a page out of his book and pick a team that's going to help the New York Mets here. The Rockies are in Atlanta playing the Braves on a little bit of a skid there. Obviously losing 3 out of 4 against the Phillies. Rockies obviously just lost 2 out of 3 against the Orioles here. Kyle Freeland on the mound for the Rockies.
Mr. Batting Practice.
This is going to be a little bit of a shot in the dark here, but nonetheless, that's why Colorado is plus 280, Josh B. Where's your mortgage? Okay, dude? Freeland, who's pitched well against the Mets this year, picked him a couple times, wavered him, whatever. With a couple starts I did have for him, he did pull through. So let's go Kyle Freeland again tonight. I say Freeland pitches 6 1/3, 3 earned runs, a couple walks, maybe 5-6 hits. Nonetheless, keeps the Rockies within reach. Chris Sale having a great year, dude. 15-3, 2.58 ERA. Kind of crazy resurgence for him and the Braves here. But I'm going to say it gets popped tonight. I think it's just going to be one of those tough starts. He's given up only 8 home runs this year. He's going to give up 3 home runs, I think, tonight. Courtesy, one, definitely of Brendan Rodgers. A guy I had it on my team fantasy for quite a little bit for the Rockies. Went on like a 6-7 game hit streak. Cooled off a little bit, but I think bounces back here tonight. Give me the Rockies. Give me the under. They win 4-2, Brian. Let's go.
All
Mets in the
right.
wild card spot, just like that, baby.
We have the Freeway Series from Anaheim, California here. Dodgers, Angels, Otani's return. So I know that'll be great for a clip there, Tony.
43 and 43 club for Otani.
Going to be 50-50 most likely. Bueller, Detmers, both pitchers have gotten hammered. But we know what the Angels are, and the Dodgers, most wins in the majors at 83, doing a nice job. So I think this will be a nice, easy win for the Dodgers. I would not be surprised if Otani hits 2 home runs here. He's going to want to be theatrical here. You make him 45-45 after this game. I think the 2 steals as well.
Wow.
I think a Dodger beat down in Anaheim. I'm going to say they're going to win 8-1, which would be the Dodgers in the over. And just like that, that is your baseball frenzy. And we know, like that frenzy, Matthew Ryan.
Matthew Ryan comes in here and says, no one is helping the Mets. The Mets will be sitting at home this October.
Well, I mean, I think what I would say to that is at the end of the day, I mean, I think it will come down to the Mets and not the other teams,
No, yeah, I totally agree
stuff
there.
can help, but at the same time, I mean, they got to play 650, 700 baseball down the stretch to ensure they're in the postseason, you would think.
I mean, listen, yeah, especially now.
By the way, it's the under 9.5 is the total, but continue.
Especially now, though, where they are, within a half game of the Braves, when they do play the Braves, I mean, that's what's going to be the deciding factor, like that definitely. Because, again, I know I'm rooting for the Rockies here, but to be realistic, how the Braves play, yes, it's nice that they, got hit up on by the Phillies. Phillies a great team, no doubt. But the Braves are better than most teams around the league. So you want to anticipate that they're going to be playing 650, 700 ball leading up the next month. So, I mean, again, if the Mets just stay their pace with the Braves and then they just need to win 2 games against them, it's all in their hands, dude.
If you had it lined up, I mean, who's pitching that series?
If I had it lined up,
and I'm assuming Minaya would be your first choice.
Yeah, Minaya, Peterson.
Peterson is the second. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, just because I feel like if Minaya gets out there to start off, I think he can pitch a good gem.
Yeah.
And then Peterson is a great follow-up. And then third, I mean,
what if it's what if that's the deciding game? You're going to be comfortable with Mr. Severino there?
I mean, I think I would be, dude. I think I would
Wow.
put Severino in there.
Interesting.
But again, I'm anticipating it not being a deciding factor, but I guess we'll play it by ear. But I would definitely pick Sevy over Quintana, even if it's Sevy's not in the third game. Like, I think if I had to match up, I wouldn't include Quintana in there.
Yeah.
Can't. And by the way, I haven't looked much into this. I heard some murmurs that it's possible Kadai Senga is back for the end of the year.
Wow. I hadn't heard that.
Again, I think that's like very, very like it's possible sort of deal. So we'll see, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, that one game he pitched great.
Yeah. It's obviously, long term here, wanting to be healthy. So if he's right, I mean, obviously they'll get him out there.
Hell yeah, dude.
So yeah, that's where we're at, and just hoping for a big Yankee win tonight. And then also speaking of tonight, binge buddies?
No binge buddies.
No
actually.
binge buddies.
No, yeah,
Okay.
I'm teaching a editing workshop at Sacred Heart, dude.
Editing workshop. Okay.
Yeah, dude, for some grad students.
So next edition Friday?
Correct.
Gotcha. So enough time for you to watch the Peterson documentary.
Yes, dude. Yes, dude.
And then any live stream on the editing class this evening?
No, dude. Can't live stream the
Wait, but
class.
this isn't like your normal class, or it
No,
is?
this is a little extra thing.
Just for tonight?
Just for tonight.
Okay.
And just for grad students.
Gotcha.
They want to introduce them to, Adobe Premiere, the editing software.
I can't believe you couldn't get this on PBS or something.
PBS, dude.
Premiere,
Wow.
right?
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Public access, dudes.
But yeah, here we are. Another great show. Appreciate everybody tuning in and continuing to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume, the merch at downtimetv.com. We want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go Yankees, and we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do.